coming right there.
All right, hi everybody. Welcome to Tactical Tuesday. I don't even remember which one this is. I think it's like 126 or something like that. I do know this is like our last one for the month of March 2022. That's kind of cool, right? So anyways, want to welcome all you guys here. We got us an awesome sponsor tonight. We got the little logo right here, Arms List. If you have never heard of the Arms List firearms marketplace, basically it's armslist.com. But you go there and you get to shop all of your local area literally for amazing face-to-face deals. It's kind of like the Facebook of guns. Or you can shop nationwide on their network, 1,300 FFL dealers. Kind of cool. You can sell your own items there. I think that's pretty cool also. No sales fees, no nonsense, no other BS. You know, you just become a member, you pay your low monthly fee, and that membership gets you all the benefits, which I think is cool. The big part that's cool, though, is exclusive access to deals from their other partners on the Arms List marketplace. You buy in as little as 2 clicks, right? Pretty easy, never compromised, armslist.com. Anyways, I want to thank Arms List for sponsoring tonight. We got that out of the way. It's kind of cool. We might have Steve Holland as a guest tonight, so I brought the chair in. I got the chair sitting next to me here. I haven't seen him coming up on the security cameras yet. My phone will ding when he passes by the license plate reader. No big deal. All right, I got my first notification. You're live, by the way. Okay, that's always bonus. I hope you guys can see me okay. Right, let me click. I got to pause that one. All right, man, I got so many windows open here. It's kind of cool. I've got you guys right here, the camera, got the chat rolling. I got another chat up on that TV. Right here, I've got 2 monitors open. One's got notes because I've got a list of things I want to cover tonight. But whether I get to all of my list or not doesn't really matter. What matters is that we get to your guys' questions. So if you have a question you want to ask, that's why we're here, right? Live stream allows us to interact with each other. To put your questions in the chat window. That's it. If you want to do super chat, that makes your comment pop up in color and puts a little green into my piggy bank. But yeah, that's up to you. It doesn't matter. You don't have to. You don't have to do a super chat. If you ask a legitimate question that hasn't been asked every live stream, Susan, she's one of my moderators. She will grab your question and she'll actually send it to my phone, my personal handheld computer. And remember telephones? You remember them back in the day, right? Up on the wall, you had the dial and you could go as long as the cord was. Maybe it reaches the couch, maybe it doesn't. Everybody calls this a phone. It's not a phone. Personal handheld computer. I think that's kind of cool. Kind of cool. So anyways, when Steve gets here, I'm sure first Steve will wrap my tequila, and then he's going to ask me about Addie's wine, and after that, we're going to get into the serious stuff. You guys know the deal. Steve is a great American. I'm excited that he says, Steve Holland on the way. That's good. That's good that Steve's on the way. I got myself, you notice I got the crew serve coffee cup. Look at the size of that monster, guys. It'll basically hold 20 shots of espresso. That's a lot. That's not what I have in it tonight. I made myself 8 shots of espresso, frost some nice Irish cream, a little bit of chocolate in it. So we're doing mocha tonight. It's good coffee. If you're curious what we're doing, I'm doing Frontline coffee tonight. I actually hit them up, and they offered the promo code for you. I don't make a dime off of it. I don't make a dime. Full disclosure, don't make a dime from Frontier. I'm sorry, it's Frontier Coffee. FrontierCoffee.com. I think this is Annie Oakley roast, and it is badass. He's actually a 18 Zulu. He was an 18 Delta medic. He just made Team Sergeant, and anyways, he roasts his own beans. So anyways, frontiercoffee.com. Use code TR10. It's good coffee. It's not quite as good as the stuff from my buddy Gaio down El Salvador. But if you've been keeping up on current events, I know everybody's watching Putin. But there's a bunch of gang violence down in El Salvador. A guy invited me to come down and visit the fields because he got all the coffee bean fields are just starting to bloom right now. And I'm like, you don't understand, brother. I'm so not going to El Salvador. Hell, I'm not even going to Vegas until the Branch Covidians get over this stuff with the whole mask thing. Yeah, I'm so not even. I'm not flying. There's no need for me to fly. If I can't get there by driving my Jeep with my camper behind it, I really don't need to go there right now. I see Jerry J just throwing down $5. Carl, I'm sorry, I said that wrong, Jerry. I apologize. Carl, do you remember the day you had to turn all your military stuff? How many things did you lose? How many things did I lose? The day you had to return all your military stuff. Wow, Jerry. Here in the U.S. military, every time you change duty stations, you have to clear what's called CIF, the Consolidated Issue Facility. So let's say you're going from Fort Campbell to Fort Bragg. You have to clear the CIF of Fort Campbell, then you go to Fort Bragg, you get new stuff issued. And you're right, you lose stuff or you can't get your canteen cup clean enough. Part of being in military life. One thing that was cool, though, was you got to remember, once I came to 5th Special Forces Group, I never left. I stayed here forever. So basically, when I signed in here, I want to say it was like 92, 93, I never cleared. So I cleared base when I was supposed to go to the Sergeant Major's Academy, but then they didn't make me go to the Sergeant Major's Academy, so I never re-impressed the base. I was just still in-processed in 5th Group. Okay, fine, whatever. Fast forward, there was a support kid, and I don't remember his name, Tyrone something or other, support kid. He was I want to say he was like an E6, E7, and a bunch of sergeant majors tried to hang this kid out to fry. I mean, they were going to fry him, take rank. They were using him as a scapegoat for a bunch of things that had happened in the supply system. It wasn't his fault. So basically, I fell on my sword as a E8, getting ready to make sergeant major. But I fell on my sword saying, basically, he is attached to my company. You will not fry him. He is my responsibility. You find somebody else. And you can basically only do that once. So anyways, Group Command Sergeant Major and the group commander, Colonel McDonald, they kind of, okay, Carl, so be it. So they didn't fry this kid. So anyways, fast forward, I went on to be company sergeant major of the old SIF company, and came time for me to retire. So just like you're talking about, Jerry, I went and got my list of everything that I'd signed for from 5th Special Forces Group. Now remember, I had been there decades. So literally, he opened a filing cabinet, pulled out the manila folder, looked, and there's another manila folder. And like, these are all hand receipts where I had signed for like a North Face dome tent, so many uniforms, so many boots, this holster, that, and it had my signature on all these hand receipts. So anyways, they gave it to me, and I came home and went up in the attic, and it took me 3 or 4 days, Jerry. I think I had 8 full Army duffel bags, full to the top, and I put everything in order to make it easier. It went by sheet, all the sheets were in order. And because I didn't want to waste it. Literally, it was going to take all day long to do 8 duffel bags. I think I had to go buy like a wool sweater, that you see like Randy wears a lot. I'd never even wore it in the Army, but I think that was one thing that I didn't have. I had to go buy a wool sweater. So anyways, I got my Suburban with all the seats laid down, and I've got 8 duffel bags laid back there like I'm hauling firewood. And I drive to 5th Group CIF, Central Issue Facility, and I go in there, and there's Tyrone, Master Sergeant now. He's now Master Sergeant. And I'm like, hey, man, how you doing? He said, hey, Sergeant Major, what can I do for you? I'm like, well, actually, I'm retiring. I'm here to clear. I got all my stuff outside. He's like, roger that. He goes over the filing cabinet, and he pulls open the filing cabinet, and he pulls up my manila envelope, and then he grabs the second manila envelope, and he took one step this way, and he dropped both of them into the trash can, and he turned and he said, Sergeant Major, you do not owe 5th Special Forces Group anything. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I've got 8 duffel bags out there filled with stuff ready to turn in. And he said, Sergeant Major, you don't owe us a thing. Enjoy your retirement. Man, I squealed tires getting out of that parking lot. Those duffel bags are still up in the attic. I think I opened up one of them to get a poncho out for Operation Valkyrie. But it's all stuff I don't ever use because I still have all this other gear from A15 and other stuff that I've picked up along the way. So thank you, taxpayers. When the zombie apocalypse happens, I have enough gear to outfit a small army. It hasn't my attic hasn't fallen through into the living room yet. It has not. It's gotten close, but it's not fallen through yet. All right, I see. Let's see if I missed any super chats. I got another one here from Annalise and her hubby, her better half, 5 Bones. Emery said the fall jump may not be out of Huey's due to FAA issues. Any news on that? Would it be from a plane otherwise? Regardless, when you come down, and what it is Annalise is talking about coming down to Palatka, Florida, so that her husband can jump with us, round canopy parachute team. We're going to dress them all up in the Vietnam uniforms and everything. Regardless of whether they get the helicopter or not, they will still have a aircraft there. They will, because the reality is there are very few actual airborne jumps out of helicopters during Vietnam. Most of them were actually out of airplanes. Regardless, when he does his airborne school, he's gonna start in a Cessna. Nice and easy, one jumper at a time. There's no way he can run into anybody else up in the air. He's all by himself. He'll be fine. Now, there was a hiccup just prior to last October. At the last minute, the FAA would not let them, for COVID reasons, basically parachute out of that helicopter. What I've been told is that's not the case right now. So we'll see. But either way, it's going to be a great time. Annalise, while I got you on the hook, though, I want to show you, I got a couple crumbs left, but that's it. I got your package. She made me homemade blueberry and white chocolate chip cookies. These things are orgasmic. I mean, they were freaking good, guys. If you've never had blueberry and white chocolate cookies, don't even bother, because there's no way they'll be as good as these right here. I want to say I ate them all, but my son came in, saw me stuffing my face. So, Annalise, me and my son say thank you. They were awesome. Sincerely, they were great cooks. Now, Annalise is going to come down. I'm sure we will talk her into doing a tandem or something. And it's always a good time. All right, I see Susan's got a couple here. Patron Big Fezzik said, thanks for the knife sharpening recommendation from the question and answer. All right, Big Fezzik, you are welcome. What's this one right here? Susan, which one? What is this? I'm trying, Susan. I'm trying to get to your questions here. Trollster, when is Carl going to take his shirt off? That's from Trollster. Understand, we're trying to keep this PG-13, guys. You don't want to see my hairy chest. You don't. It's not pretty. I got nipples. Nipples don't belong on guys. You don't want to see this. You don't want to see this. All right, next question. D. Steiner, Carl, when you were out on a mission where you could not return to base, how much food would you take for each day, calories per day? Honest, correct answer is you want 2,500 calories a day. Now, if you're going to be moving a lot, like nonstop, understand we've done studies, and legitimately, if you're doing like combat ops and preparing and training and rehearsals and stuff, there are times where you're burning like 6,000 calories a day. I want that to sink in, because all these people that, well, I eat a fat-free diet. You can't eat 6,000 calories a day without pounding back fats. And I mean, you go up, you get like, you're in the chow hall and you're like, I want 6 chicken breasts. Okay. So, but in general, if you're going to be just climbing the mountain, going and sitting in the hide site, doing strategic reconnaissance, you don't need a lot of calories while you're sitting there. And the more food you're eating, the more food you got to take a dump. All right. So, and strategic reconnaissance, everybody thinks like the SAS in World War II, or like Desert Storm, where Bravo 20, they got rolled up. Strategic reconnaissance, that's sitting in the hide site for days and days and days up on the mountain. That is a SF mission. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Green Berets have several missions. The first one right off the bat is unconventional warfare, UW. And then you have FID, foreign internal defense. That's where basically we train the other nations to fight for themselves. Then you have direct action. All right. Direct action is the big one for me. That's very, very big for me. My special mission unit, that was our focus. And then you have strategic reconnaissance. And there's a couple other smaller missions. You can get into PsyOps, you can get into ASOT, and there's lots of other stuff that SF guys can do. But strategic reconnaissance is one of the big ones for us. Now, it's really not that important now to put boots on the ground in a sense like we used to before, because think Desert Storm, or even the initial invasion of Iraq in 2003, you could run that SR-71 over the Iraqi desert in Desert Storm because we didn't have enough satellites. They actually pulled the SR-71s out of retirement. But by the time the footage gets reviewed, those Scud missiles are driving or gone. But now we've got Predator drones and Prowlers and Global Hawks that can literally stay up for days. And, and satellite imagery is instantaneous, So, it's putting guys on the ground. The advantage of putting guys on the ground is now you're looking at eye level, where a Predator drone can't look through the windows of a building. It can't. It looks down from above. All right, I see Susan's got a couple others here. Let's see. Good questions tonight. Full spectrum dominance. Mrs. Britcher. Carl, what can you tell us about DUMB's deep underground military bases? Cheers. By you simply saying that it's that deep underground, basically understand those are all classified sites. So we'll talk in general. And there, you can go to Colorado and you can actually walk into the mountain there. They actually do public tours, so it's classified, but it's not really that classified. All right, but understand that there are sites all over the planet that they have built to be basically nuke-proof. Okay, define nuke-proof, because there have been bunkers that have been breached in under 10 minutes by guys on the ground. There have been, like all the French built for the Iraqis these big bunkers so that they could put one fighter jet inside of big metal doors, concrete. I mean, these things, the roofs were, I want to say like 12 feet thick, right? And there's, they were made to survive, Iran bombing them. That's why, I'm sorry, the Kuwaitis built them. The Kuwaitis paid the French to come in and build these things. They were in Kuwait. And there's some in Baghdad too. Baghdad International Airport had a few, but the ones in Kuwait were awesome. They were beautiful, except you go to them and you look at them. In Desert Storm, Saddam had put all of his stuff inside of them. And the Air Force pickled bombs through the roofs of all of them. And it turns out it was like 1 foot of concrete for the ceiling. And then the rest on top was like sand with like a couple inches of concrete on top of that. And yeah, they weren't worth a shit. So when you start talking big bunkers, understand there are big bunker complexes, but understand there are also, anytime you build anything, whether it be armor this thick, the military is going to come up with a weapon to get through armor that thick. And then when you make armor this thick, that new composite armor on the M1 Abrams tank, the military is going to come up with something to get through that. And then this, and then that. And there are so many great weapons. And by weapons, I'm talking weapons that can be delivered by the Air Force, but also troops that can go on the ground, specially trained, and more importantly, specially equipped, because it takes special equipment to do hard target defeat. But those units are out there. So yeah, I mean, if you're one of those countries where you think your bunker is secure and you're rattling sabers like some of them are right now, let's just say there are certain units in the U.S. that would love to get the mission to go open your front door. It's going to be hilarious, and it's going to take about 1/10 the time that you think it's going to take them. It freaked the Air Force out when they realized how quickly our guys could open those bunkers. It freaked the Air Force out. Nothing is safe, guys. Nothing is safe. All right, I'm scrolling back through here. I hear my phone dinging like Christmas carols, which means you guys are asking more questions. Michael Dudley just threw down 5 bones for shits and giggles. Brother, I appreciate that. So I'm going to go back to Susan Britcha. All right, Susan. Matthew D. on Carl, where did you get your hat and patch? The patch is made by Tactical Gear Junkie. All right, he makes them for me. I give them out in classes. You see me at the NRA show. You see me at Walmart, at Lowe's. I'll peel off my patch and give it to you. If you're at the NRA show here in, I think it's in May, come up, say hi to me. I'll give you my patch. As far as my hat, guys, ATS Tactical Gear. Guys, I'm very loyal to ATS. Why? Because they make good stuff. They really do. I got a stack of these hats. Now, they offered to sew on the patch for me, make it look better, so it wasn't quite so junky on the front, right? But legitimately, then I'd be like, dude, I would give you the patch off my hat. Okay, now I get to do it. So out in the car, I keep an extra patch, and if I give my patch, give it away. Because I love you guys. I do. Please don't think if you ever see me that I'm not approachable. I'm just a regular guy. That's it. I hope y'all realize that there's absolutely nothing special about me. I'm just trying to make the world a better place by you guys learning from all of the mistakes that I made through my career. And if I can help some of you, whether it's our military, our law enforcement, or concerned citizens out there, if I can help you all avoid some of the pitfalls that I had, then I've done my job. But legitimately, guys, I'm just a regular guy. I'm not a poser, but I'm also not I'm just a regular guy. Please understand that. All right, next question. John Patton, did you ever purchase food while on mission? Like purchase food? Not so much while we were like in the hide site, but like when we were staging out of Kandahar. When we first got to Kandahar, before it was a built-up military base, literally the AC-130s had just bombed it. So we got there, the Marines are pulling security around Kandahar. We're sleeping in North Face dome tents. And my one of the Charlies on my team, Jeremy Lyle, he's now Command Sergeant Major Lyle. He'd go to the gate and he would buy piles of the falafels and piles of the bread that they cook on the stone and chicken and rice, and yeah, and we'd get dysentery, we'd get sick, and it was so good, dude. It was so good. You get food poisoning, and I've gotten food poisoning in, I think, 30 countries. I've been to 41 countries. Ukraine was my 41st country I'd ever been to. I was in Ukraine in 2015, not this year. I wouldn't go right now. Jerry, you're welcome to go, brother. You're welcome to go. We can do Snapchat with Jerry. That would be awesome, would it not? All right. Got a next one right here. Matansu Sani. Hey, Carl, what are your thoughts on carrying knife on ankle? Guys, anything on your ankles or on your wrists, you want it to be light. And what I mean by that is you'll see jump masters that will strap a big fixed blade knife to the outside of their boot, and that's so they can cut away a toe jumper. All right. A lot of them do it, but the reality is a Spyderco clip to your pocket works just as good. All right. If you've ever strapped anything to your ankle and then go walk somewhere, if you don't believe me, try it. And strap something to your ankle and then go run with it only on one ankle. And because you understand, you remember, people doing weight training, you'll see guys wear weight vests running with body armor, same thing, right? But you'll also hear of guys putting on ankle weights and wrist weights, or holding weights in their hands while they're jogging. Hold them in your hands, guys. Don't put them on your ankles, because that's how you blow your knees out. But one thing you'll find for sure is, it's going to slow you down. I don't put it on an ankle. I can't get to it fast. Your cops that carry their little backup on their ankle, I got that, but understand those are the same cops that don't run anywhere fast. You ask the cops that'll actually chase somebody, they're not wearing a pistol on their ankle. Just my opinion. All right, this one's from Susan. People want to know, are we waiting for Christmas before the Valhalla video is coming out? Smiley face. Be honest with you, Nicholas is just wrapping up the third edit right now. There's a couple pictures I wanted him to add, and I've been gone a bunch lately, so he's been waiting for me to get back. I just got him a couple pictures from the last couple of Operation Valkyries, the first 3 years, because I wanted them included in this video also. So be looking for actually what day. I actually know. I know what day that goes live. Operation Valkyrie video, April 8th, guys. So not this Friday. This Friday is Tracking 101 with Sue LaRue. It's an awesome video. We originally filmed this video 3 years ago, and the sound was screwed up. It was too windy. The mics were, and I almost released it because the information in the video was that awesome. Film crew convinced me, we'll get Sue LaRue back again and we'll film it again. So we filmed it literally the same day that we filmed the Textron Next Generation Weapon. Carl, that was over a year ago. It was, but then the camera guys didn't film certain B-roll that I needed. And Sue LaRue has said, well, I'll go take pictures. Sue's been sitting on his hands. So Emery went with Sue and made Sue take the pictures. And so anyways, the video's done. I've already approved it. And it's uploaded. It's ready to go. That picture goes live. That video goes live this Friday, a couple days from now, sponsored by Acre Gold, which is going to be awesome. And then the Operation Valkyrie video actually goes live next Friday, guys. Next Friday. It's going to be awesome. It sincerely will. Got another one here. All right. I see we had another super chat come in. Okie Precision. Tactical Rifleman, did you ever kill, butcher wild game on an extended op and not in training? On an extended op and not in training. Actually, we were doing a extended op that actually was a training op where it was in the middle of a combat zone, but we were training in the middle of a combat zone. We were one country over, waiting for the CIA to get in trouble, and then we'd get on the helicopters to go rescue them. But while we were on standby, we continued to train. And while we were out there, one of the guys on my sniper team shot a gazelle. But I've been on ops where we have literally killed copperheads in the hide site and then skinned them out, salted the skin with the salt packets from our MREs, cooked them up, stuff like that. But ever like on a live combat op, you understand most of my live combat ops were get off the helicopter, blow the front door open, go into the house, flex cuff people, grab them by the face, and put them back on the helicopter. So no, I didn't have time to put the pot on the stove in the house you just ransacked and cook the neighbor's cat. No, I've never done that. No, I've never done that. Nope, never have. Never. I've never done that. Leif LeBlanc is here. 5 bones. Super chat. Carl, thanks for the fantastic SOG video with CSM Lamb and John Stryker Myers. So cool to see the evolution of gear. Thanks, brother. Rangers lead the way. Sincerely, dude, I'm glad you enjoyed it. For all you guys, this video is doing very well. Understand we're still throttled back by YouTube. We've got almost 700,000 subscribers and we still only get 9,000 views in a week. Right? We're under 1 million views. We were getting 3 million views when I had half as many subscribers. So it's okay. Somehow I've pissed YouTube off. I don't know what I did to offend them. I don't care. I'm not going to change what we do. I just wish they'd tell me, because honestly, I didn't intentionally piss them off. I didn't. But yeah, so the video is doing well considering we have been throttled back. But for those of you that haven't seen it, I enjoy, and I know they're boring. Our videos are not exciting. I got that. I got 2 old guys. One of them is literally prehistoric Vietnam era, and they're talking about the gear, the boots, and the pockets on the uniforms. You can't get any more boring than that, but man, it is just so interesting. So anyways, I'm glad a lot of you out there enjoyed the video as much as I did. Sincerely, great stuff. Got another one here from Susan. She sent Hurricane, Tactical Rifleman Carl. Any chance you had a line to Major John Plaster? He said in that live stream y'all did, they were reprinting Ultimate Sniper. Haven't found it anywhere though. I will write that down. Sincerely. I'm going to write it down right now. Because I want to invite him and John Tilt to come back on the show. John Plaster Sniper reprint. The cool part is, because a lot of people like that book, Ultimate Sniper. The cool part was, you understand John Plaster back in the day was not a sniper. He got into marksmanship and everything after he got out, basically. And he would reach out to this guy at the 5th Special Forces Group Sniper Locker. He'd actually send him rough drafts of each chapter, and the guy there at the 5th Group Sniper Locker would be like, dude, that's completely wrong. You need to write this. And then John would send back the next edition, next edit, and the guy at the 5th Group Sniper Locker would be like, no, dude, that is so wrong. Here, frick it. I'll type it out for you. And that's how a lot of the correct knowledge got put in that book. I'm not taking anything away from John Plaster. Awesome guy, great promoter of of sniper operations now. But he'll tell you he had a lot of help with that book, specifically from the guy that stood up the 5th Group Sniper Locker. You know who that was? No, seriously. I'll wait. You guys know who that was? Who started the 5th Special Forces Group Sniper Locker here at Fort Campbell? It was after they moved from Bragg. They took the old jailhouse that the 101st wasn't using anymore, abandoned, and they took it and made it into what is now the Sniper Locker and the SFOUT Committee. The Master Sergeant that did that was Master Sergeant Steve Holland. And Steve has done so much for America. Yes, he gave you the 6.8. Yes, he gave you the Mark 12 SPRs. But he did, guys, he was on the green light teams, jumping suitcase nukes and all. But besides all that stuff, he's the guy that stood up the Sniper Locker and helped John Plaster make Ultimate Sniper. So, maybe we'll bring that up when Steve gets here. Steve's on the way. Steve is on the way. I got guys texting back and forth. I'm on a group chat. They don't realize that I'm in a live stream right now. They're talking about adjustable gas blocks. The name of the text string is Alphas because the only guys allowed on this thing are basically Green Berets that Steve Holland has determined to be badasses. It's got guys like Randy's on there, Travis Roth, guy named Don Alexander, who is a full-blown legend. If you're anybody that knows anybody in the deep, dark circuits of SF, I guarantee you know Don Alexander. Yeah, without a doubt. I see we had another one come in. Michael Dudley. Hey, Carl, big fan. Do you ever take part in Robin Sage? Is there anything you could share on the subject? Actually, I know guys that go out there to be like G Chiefs and help out. Sue LaRue has done it. Wick has done it. Even Angry American. And he brought Alan Kay out there. They've gone and done that. I've never had the time to do it. I just haven't. Not that I wouldn't. I think it'd be fun seeing the new fledgling Green Berets trying to earn their Green Berets. But, I just haven't. I haven't been invited to do it, 1, and 2, I just don't have the time. Guys, I've got so much stuff on my calendar right now. You would not believe what I've got on my calendar. I'm sorry, guys. My mic is spiking real bad. I'm going to turn that thing down a little bit. I hope that's a little bit better. Maybe. Is that better for you? We'll see. We'll see how it is. Hopefully it sounds a little better now. All right. I got my mic here. Check, baby. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, baby. 1. It is called the rump shaker. Carl, what is this song that you teach us to sing? What is a rump? A rump, run around the block. I do not think this is what this means, Carl. What, you call me a liar? I'm not a liar. Carl, sometimes you must tell us the truth, Carl. Inshallah, God willing. Inshallah, Phil Mishmish. Inshallah, God willing, we'll drink wine. All right, Wildflower. Hey, would you mind asking what Carl found is wrong or issue with the next generation squad weapon, telescoping, hybrid, polymer ammo? Not sure I got the details right. The reality is, and it's a great, and you guys saw my video on it, and you notice I didn't bash it at all because it was still a prototype. Right, it was still a prototype. Textron invited us to come film it. Those of you that don't know what he's talking, they're talking about Wildflower. It shoots the case telescoped ammo. There's no rim to extract. It literally pushes them through. It's kind of cool because it squeegees out your chamber, keeps your chamber clean. But the projectile is completely sat inside of it. You can see in the clear one right here. This one has got the actual armor piercing 6.8 in it. This one's just got full metal jacket. But anyways, out of the systems, understand they've been working on this since the 90s, and someday they might work out the bugs, but it's not ready yet. It's just not ready yet. So the next generation squad weapon concept, the contract has been down selected to 2 companies. One is the SIG with their 6.8 by 51. They call it 277 SIG Fury, but you see the bottom of that casing is got a steel bottom on it, and that is to keep the case from rupturing and spitting that primer right back in the gun, because literally the chamber pressures are through the roof. This thing is 6.8 out of a 308 casing, basically size-wise, but it hits as hard as a 300 Win Mag. I want that to sink in. The SIG gun is awesome. So overpowered, it's going to recoil a lot, and with all that extra chamber pressure, I don't know how long the barrels are going to last, but we'll see, right? And then the other one is it's not. This is not actually it, but it is a 6.8 polymer casing, basically like the 6.8 SPC. Done by General Dynamics. I don't know how and again, I haven't shot it. I wish they would invite me to film it. And but theirs is a bullpup, but it has been down selected to SIG or General Dynamics, one of the two. Now, I was supposed to actually be leaving on the 3rd to go up to New Hampshire to film the SIG one. They actually reached out to me. They're like, hey, look, we've got to roll this back till late June. Okay, what happened? Did the gun break? What up? Not bad news, but apparently they're getting ready to award the contract, and they don't want to jinx it by having me film it. Thanks a lot. That's a lot of trust right there. But anyways, I respect them, and I'm cheering on SIG. I want SIG to get that contract because I've looked at both rounds, and you can look at the guns and bitch about the bullpup versus the one with the side folding stock. You can. I don't care about that. What I care about, because there's going to be lots of other guns made. The big deal of the next generation squad weapon contract is the last time we changed calibers like this. Remember, at the end, we went from the 30-06 shell to the 308 shell. NATO wanted to go to the 7.62 by 51. Okay, but around the Vietnam era, we made the change from a battle rifle cartridge, the 7.62 by 51, to a carbine, a assault rifle cartridge of 5.56 by 54 by 45, I think by 45. That's a big deal, and the logic was that our guys could carry more ammo and that we're closer at distances. Okay, I got that. And you guys understand that the 5.56 has served us very, very well for decades and decades and decades. It has. But you notice I used the term assault rifle. Oh my, Carl, you can't say assault rifle. You'll piss off the internet. You'll break Twitter in half. Guys, like it or not, the M16 family of rifles is an assault rifle. By definition, an assault rifle is a select fire rifle that fires a intermediate cartridge. This is not 30-06. This is not 308. This is a intermediate cartridge. It's not a subgun shooting a pistol cartridge. It's not a battle rifle shooting an adult rifle round. It is an intermediate cartridge. That's an assault rifle. So anyways, and for assaults, hostage rescue, stuff like that, the 5.56 is not going away. It's not. And again, this is my opinion. I'm a fag now, former action guy. All right, so it's not going away. It's just not. So what? So we have reached a point where we may have to meet near equivalent modern forces on a modern battlefield. And that means longer distances, and it means armor and everything else. So we need to add back to the inventory our a big gun. So rather than go back to 7.62, which is okay, but it's not that big of a jump. It's really not. It's not. So the generals that made the decision, they said 6.8, and it's got to be able to do this at this distance with this terminal performance, and not getting into the specifics. It's a classified contract. So anyways, the Textron round was not ready to be fielded. I'm hoping SIG wins the contract. Now that said, General Dynamics, if you're watching, True Velocity, if you're watching, I would love to come hear your side of this. I'd love to film a video on it. Guys, I got a bunch more questions coming in from Susan. Real quick though, I saw I had a super chat that I missed. Let's scrollage. Wow. Chris Hogue, what level of medical proficiency do you recommend? Chris is actually signed up to take the, he's the guy that won that 2-day class that Refuge Medical is doing down in Texas here, 10th and the 11th. Or it's, no, 11th and 12th. Chris, start off with that. That is so, you will be light years ahead of everybody else. And then if you find you can handle trauma, because like everybody in high school should get CPR, right? Okay, but everybody should also get basic first aid classes, right? And everybody that does like Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, they all get that. So why not everybody? Well, because most people just don't want to do anything. They want to get life handed to them on a silver platter. Okay, but for the rest of us that actually have day jobs and contribute to society, it is a worthy investment for you to invest in medical training. Chris, we're actually doing your giveaway today, Chris. We're going to do it here. Once Steve gets here, we are going to announce what our giveaway is going to be, and you guys are going to love it. Chris actually bought it for you, $750 worth. It's awesome. All right. Chris, when he won the medical class, he said he wants to pay it forward. He has this tonight's giveaway. We are giving away a slot for a tactical rifleman combat pistol carbine course, 2-day course. You can pick, if you win, you pick any pistol carbine course on our calendar that you want to attend, paid for. Now, I'm not providing your ammo, travel, hotels, nothing, but your tuition is covered. You'll get your shirt with it on the back. You'll get your patch and your stickers and your student handouts. And the big thing though, you come to our classes, you get knowledge that you're just not going to get in a lot of other places. That is some good coffee, guys. Frontier Coffee, frontiercoffee.com. Great stuff indeed. Wow, Susan, I don't know where I left off. Mike was better before, she said. Okay. Mike was better before. All right. I'm going to put the mic back up. Susan said, put it back up. Susan said, put it back up. I put it back up. All right. Did that one. All right, guys. Any recommended workout programs for civilians aiming for an 18 X-ray contract? Google it. Literally, look up what the physical fitness test is when you go to selection. It's the Army PT test. You need to be able to swim 50 meters, uniform and boots. And you got to pass the physical fitness test. You shouldn't be able to just barely pass it. You need to max it out. You want to easily have a good time in selection. You need to max out the PT test. In other words, you need to be able to score a perfect score on it. Here's the deal, guys. Even when I was a crusty old sergeant major, remember our max score on a PT test is 300 points. I think my last PT test, I scored a 297. And literally, physical fitness is important. Now, right now, I'm a fat rat bastard. I am. I'm completely out of shape. I've lost all my muscle. I've got a beer gut. I am out of shape. But I'm also no longer active duty. I'm not. If you're planning on going and being on my A team, that's the way you need to think about it. What shape do you need to be in to be on my A team? And understand very, very high standards. Now, get in there. Once you get in the door, you get the group. They literally, the groups have professional athletic trainers, professional trainers that literally will custom tailor a PT program to your physical fitness program to you. Because, and the regular Army does, and I didn't get that in SF. They didn't start that till right when I was getting ready to retire. But the reality is some people are built different than others, and some people can naturally run better. Some guys naturally have more muscle mass, but they will tailor a program to you to make you a well-rounded operator that can contribute on the field of battle. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. I got Leaf Super Chat, Susan. I did get it. Jonathan V. Hey, Carl, big fan. I know you have experience with Beretta M9. I've been having issues with my slide falling when I load a full magazine. Do you see any safety issues with this? Honest, so long as it's putting a round in the chamber, there's nothing wrong with it. All right, but if you don't like it, you can replace the spring that holds down that slide locking lever. Literally, you can replace that. Steve Holland, my brother from another mother. Come on in, Steve. I'm just getting caught up. All right, so our giveaway tonight, I got Steve here. And Steve, while Steve getting settled in, we are going to chit-chat for a little bit. While we're doing that, because I know instead of you guys putting in questions, all right, what we're going to do is if you want to win the giveaway of the Tactical Rifleman Combat Pistol Carbine course slot, you get to pick the dates you want. In the chat window, you put in Susan is awesome. And your limit, you can put it in only 3 times. So how you doing, Steve?
I'm doing good.
Come visit, man. Come slide this way. Come snuggle.
No, I'm fine.
Come snuggle.
I know.
Snuggle. Come snuggle. I'm not moving the camera. There we go, guys. See, that's better. Isn't that better?
This is from the man that doesn't like to hug.
I don't like that. I'm not a hugger.
No, you're not.
I'm not. You know I'm not. All right, so I got Steve. Come on, Steve. Steve is good people. All right, so Steve, what's new in your life, man? What's new? What's
new in our life? What's new in the life of the viewers? That's what's most important.
No. See, we've been catching up. All right, so yeah. See, Susan is awesome. These guys know that.
She's there. Ozzy.
So I got my cup of coffee. No, there's no Patron Cafe Oxo in it yet. There's not.
I gotta get accustomed to this whole camera thing.
What thing?
The camera thing.
Oh, it's on you, Steve. The camera's right there. Right there. Okay. See that camera right there? See the guy standing behind it that's waving at you? That's Jerry J. All right.
What's new?
Oi. Susan just...
Oi.
Sorry, it's a reflex. Susan, you're a terrible person. We love you.
Hopefully our buddy Glenn Richardson from Torbay, Australia is watching.
Yep, I hope so. Hey, Susan, great seeing you at Patreon live stream. Hope to see you at the next Patreon class. If it hasn't been asked recently, does Carl have any recommendations for chest rigs? Honest, I got a couple of different chest rigs I run. One of them is if I'm going to be out like patrolling with just an AR. In other words, I'm not running body armor, out doing reconnaissance, stuff like that. Basic patrolling through the woods. Set up 5.56 and it's got a bunch of big general purpose pouches on it. My other vest is completely set up with SR25, but it's slick on the front so I can lay prone. Here's why I say that. two different missions. One of them is for me the plan to deliberately go on the offensive with a 308 gas gun. So it's set up for that. The other one is not. The other one is set up for me with big general purpose pouches. So how do you do that? Same thing. Get the pouches, get everything for ATS tactical gear. Guys use TR10. I brought Steve there. We hooked Steve up with gun belt stuff, everything. Susan Britcher rocks gun belts stuff from ATS tactical gear. Chad does, Z does, Jason Phelan, Chad Mormon, Randy Worth. Guys, they make good stuff. They make real good stuff. Again, use code TR10. Saves you 10%. And so why am I loyal to ATS Tactical Gear? Well, Carl, Cry Precision. I got that. I know Cry Precision was like the custom guys for Range 19, Delta, and all those guys, right? Because that's where like their seamstress came from. I got that. ATS Tactical Gear was the same thing for 5th Special Forces Group and Task Force 160th. They're right here. When we needed anything, when 160th wanted a special med kit, literally 4 foot wide, 5 foot tall, 6 inches deep to hang on the back wall of the Blackhawk, ATS dropped what they were doing and custom made them one. And so literally I'm loyal to them. And because if you get their Molly chest rig, you can put the pouches anywhere you want them. And more important to me is I can change it. Literally, because mission parameters change. One day you might need to do this. 6 months later, you need something completely different. So that's just me.
Carl highlights a good point in regard to the chest rig. Back to what he said earlier initially, when he said he's running slick to go prone. I've seen a lot of guys that run chest rigs that don't think about that aspect of it, because most of the time that they're drilling on the range, they're drilling standing up. A lot of people don't drill in the prone, and believe me, when the 2A range kicks off,
you're going to
prone is a happy place. It's a very happy place. So you have to work on that, even when you're doing like roll over prone, different positions, shooting underneath cars. You got to take all that into account. Good point, Carl.
Yep. Jerry J wanted me to say thank you. This is his actual Mark 12. It's now in a museum in Czechoslovakia. Jerry J is my Czech guy who came and jumped with me in Palatka and fractured his femur. He's good people. He's one of my patrons. He's a great guy. Yeah, I want to say it's not a Mod Holland. It's it's one of the knockoff ones.
That's technically what NSWC Crane followed on with what they call a Mod 1, which appears to be, that's a sniper term, ATB, appears to be, because you never report back, I see this, because you don't know if it's really that. So you say, appears to be a Russian T-62, as in rolling through the Ukraine. Don't say, I see a T-62. Always say, appears to be.
Yeah.
That's a nice rig. What's his name?
Jerry J. He actually threw down $2. Steve, thank you for Mark 12.
Sweet Mark 12.
Chris Hogue, what is Steve's most proud of? I'm going to cheat and ask another question for Carl. What is Steve's best contribution? Oh, shit, dude. Steve did so much for my sniper teams. Well, and my whole unit while we were overseas. There's no way to there's no way to even start on that.
Nice setup, Jerry.
Legitimately, guys, when I say that, but I'll let Steve, because you did ask Steve first. Steve, what was your biggest contribution to the military or our planet, our pretty blue marble we're on?
Well,
by the way, guys, we're going to draw the giveaway at 8:30. So that doesn't mean you get to leave now and then come back at 8:29. But you can. Technically, I would. If I was watching this and I knew the giveaway was going to be at 8:30, I would leave. I'd probably go surf porn or something and come back in half an hour or something.
Really?
I'm joking, Steve. I'm joking. My
California?
wife's upstairs, dude.
California.
Yeah.
To answer this question, that question came up a while ago when I retired. When I retired from the 5th Group Combat Development's office, Force One office, and they were asking me about my contributions. I was naming all these different programs and projects. And Jay Johnson, who worked for me for 5 years, and he took my place, he replaced me when I retired, he said, Steve, that's all those things aren't your greatest contribution. He said the greatest contribution that you've given to the force is you created the Combat Development Force Modernization Staff Section at 5th Group, which the USAFIC and USASOC commander directed all other Special Forces groups will have an S7, S8, which opened up the door for all the other units that have the same capability. So I guess with all the things that I believe I accomplished, and some of them were really rough because I got sucking chest wounds from all the hits from the higher command, but things that I did, like, of course, you know, things like Mark 12 SPR, 6.8, Mark 4
miniguns, yeah.
One of the things that we don't talk about a lot, but I do really cherish is getting Special Forces to get rid of the front sight. So the optics, when we were transitioning to the M68, CCO,
they wouldn't have been so
optics,
freaking high up in the air,
the
man.
front sight was still there on the M4s. I convinced them by cutting off a front sight on a worn out barrel and taking pictures through the sights against targets to convince the command to put that piece into the SOCMAR program, which I thought was really good.
Yeah.
The other thing that to me that I love the most is Coyote Brown Flat Dark Earth. Before that, no one was allowed. You couldn't paint a weapon. You couldn't spray paint a weapon.
You weren't supposed to paint.
You could wrap whatever around it, do whatever you want to do. I showed them that Flat Dark Earth, from a perspective of night vision, literally disappeared. A black rifle against a spray painted Flat Dark Earth Coyote Brown, which I worked with in the SOCMAR program with awesome guys at Crane like Gus Taylor. And to me, that was the main thing, because before then, all our body armor was either black or we had the fragmentation green vest from the Vietnam era. We started transitioning into the Flat Dark Earth colors for not only the body armor, but your gear. Because prior to Desert Storm, Somalia, what was next? I forget what was next. Into Afghanistan, all that other stuff. Everything was either black or green.
Yep.
Which we proved to them that out of all the colors, Flat Dark Earth, and I think I was working with John Carver from Eagle Industries back then, and we, under the SOCMAR program, got them to approve that with these platforms, the uppers and everything else, the Mark 12, we can go a different color without violating all the rules and regulations. So that, to me, was a really awesome thing.
I didn't realize you were the one that did that, Steve.
Pantone color 165 or something like that. I forget what it was, but we solidified it under the Pantone color code. And Gus Taylor really helped me out, because that was another thing that, you know, the command was like, okay, here comes fucking Steve Holland again. And he wants everything to be what he's calling Coyote Brown. So Gus helped me work it out under the uniform color codes in the military system, which are Pantone colors, and he solidified all that in SOCMOD Block 2. So that was an awesome thing. Got rid of the front sight, able to go through a color that just about blended everywhere. And that opened the door for all these new things you now see past ACUs, multicam. Before Flat Dark Earth, Coyote Brown, Pantone colors started with the weapons programs, there was no such thing as multicam and all these other things. You just went out there and wore what the Army gave you. And I showed the command what ACUs looked like under night vision. It was ugly. It's like the guys were glowing.
Man.
So to me, that's one of my biggest accomplishments.
I hated ACU so much. Hate it. They glowed. It literally glows.
Absolutely.
Glows. All right.
So I want. We already discussed on the show the minigun, but that was even though that one hurt the most, that still hurt.
Yeah. But they still got the miniguns though, don't they? They still got them?
They still do. And they're still fighting for the numbers that we were trying to achieve, which I think was like 325 systems. Remember, it's a system. It's a Mark 44. It's not the M134 minigun. It's the Mark 44, which is the gun, the feed tray, the cans, the backup batteries, everything.
Yeah.
It's a system.
It's a whole system.
So that one, even though there was we had video classified, and we were showing this group of decision makers, watch this. And as you know, in Solder City and Fallujah, Fallujah is my favorite one.
I know.
Have you told them the story?
No.
When you guys pulled the trucks up and the Marine Corps.
Tell them.
So we had 6 systems in country, and I wasn't in country at the time, but my thing was always be available. So every Saturday and Sunday, I would come in, go up on the red side, which is the classified side, read all the messages, and talk to the guys if I had to talk to them. And they were going over the minigun system. So Carl and his guys, they go into Fallujah. And this is at the beginning. This is when you can't go a block without getting into a firefight.
Anbar Province was cowboys and Indians back then.
So the Marine Corps, I don't know which battalion or whatever, but they were fighting against this one element that was in, I guess you call it a millionaire's mansion, but it was like one every block over there. And they were behind the wall, and A-15 guys rolled in to support the Marines and say, hey, can you guys support us? So they pulled up, and the Marines literally guided them in to the spot on the wall they wanted them to engage the enemy. I believe the Marine Corps thought that the up armored Humvees were Mardus 50 cals and Mark 19s. They didn't know that they were miniguns on the trucks. So when they pulled up and they said, hey, where do you want us to direct the fire? They said, right there, across beautiful garden, palm trees, water pools with the little goldfish, whatever they call it, fancy goldfish, kitefish or whitefish or whatever. And the Marine Corps like right there, and you can see the green traces coming out of the building, first floor, second floor. And when these guys opened up on the minigun,
not me. I was out there with my snipers.
They were expecting either Mark 19 fire. I know you guys love to hear me fire, or 50 cal. But all of a sudden you get a.
Do it again, Steve. Do it again.
Everything stopped. Everything stopped.
Understand that the bad guys had never heard anything like the minigun.
The Marines had never heard it. They didn't realize that the trucks that were pulling up into these shooting positions, firing positions, weren't just Mark 18s and 50 cals. So the Marine Corps stopped. All the guys in the Marines stopped. All of a sudden you hear this cheering. Yeah. Do it again.
One more time, Steve. One more time.
No,
one more time. Come on, for me. Do it for me. Do it for me. Do it for me.
I'm gonna do it.
All right. So then the Marines asked them to do it one more time, and they did.
The craziest thing was it totally ripped this beautiful mansion apart. I mean, ripped it apart. Firing stopped from the enemy. Nobody else was firing because everybody was just looking at the minigun. The Marines like stopped shooting. They're like, oh my gosh. So you take something like that and the other things that you guys accomplished and the other units accomplished, just with the 6 systems that we had in country, you would think that based on our combat mission needs statement for an additional like 15 to 16 systems, I forget what the cost was, that they would embrace that and say, this is making a huge difference. Instead, they said, what's all this chatter between the units over there talking about this minigun system. We don't have minigun systems. It's like, well, 5th Group does, which technically wasn't 5th Group. It was Siege of Soda. And, of course, they said, 5th Group? Fucking Steve Holland.
Steve Holland, that's
Steve Holland, he's doing that shit again. So it was like, hey, you're on an investigation for inappropriate purchases of weapon systems with O&M funds. But like I told Carl a long time ago about these people, the best thing they ever did when they hammered me my first 2 or 3 years in the job, it was a 2-year job, I was there for 12 years, was they made me go to the Army school for force modernization, go to the Army school for combat development. I learned the system.
Yeah.
And I used that against them. Because I told them, when the guy came, hey, you're on an investigation, the reason you're right, stand at attention, all this other shit. And he said, you lied to an officer because you said there were no miniguns here at 5th Group. And I told him, I said, I didn't lie to you. There's no miniguns here. They're all in Iraq. They're not on the 5th Group books. They're on the Siege of Soul of AP. That's a wartime command overseas in combat. I'm a master sergeant in the United States. I can't direct the comptroller to spend $1.7 million.
You can't do it.
I can't do it. That guy's a major. He looked at me like I was crazy. But of course, I had to make a phone call to the big general.
To the general that did it.
It was hilarious. I called down to brag, and
oh shit.
The secretary answered. She said, General blah blah blah's office. Can I help you? I said, yes, ma'am. Is the general in? She said, well, who's calling? I said, Master Sergeant Hall of 5th Special Forces Group. She said, the general, you're not on a schedule for a phone call with him today. And can I ask what this is about? I said, no, ma'am. You just tell him that I'm on the phone if he's available. 30 seconds later, Steve, how you doing? I said, good, sir. How you doing? Well, man, blah blah blah. Talk. Everything's everything. He goes, okay. When I left 5th Group as a commander, and I went over here, and then I went over here, and now I'm here, got my star and everything, you're not just calling just to say hello. I said, well, sir, no. He goes, well, what are you calling about? I said, well, sir, we got this situation, blah, 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 blah. He goes, Steve, you're not making yourself clear. I said, this motherfucker is here at Fort Campbell trying to investigate me, blah, 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 blah. He goes, got it. Hung up the phone. Next morning, 9 o'clock, we have to go into the briefing room for the out brief, whether they're going to say, hey, Master Sergeant Hawley now reduced to private first class. He's got the training duty for the rest of his years in the military, or we're going to put him in a rack and stretch him out, or he's going to the guillotine. And we walked in the conference room and nobody was there. Me and my boss. And we walked over to the group. Secretary said, Ms. Joyce, we got the out brief.
Miss Joyce, she's the secretary that's been there forever. Miss Joyce is awesome.
She is the commander. And she looked up at me and she said, that whole group of SOCOM people flew back to Tampa this morning. Didn't you get the word? General blank, blank, blank called last night, called everybody from home, had a teleconference with them, and then everything was done. She said, you need to go talk to the deputy commander, which was Chris Haas. Great guy. And he said, return to your duties.
Return to your duties.
Awesome leader.
Get out of my office. None of this ever happened.
Awesome leader.
Awesome leader. Awesome. All right,
So,
we got a couple questions. First off the bat, Jerry J's back asking if we ever used a Vector laser rangefinder. That's the Viper that was in the picture with his gun.
Yeah.
So the answer is yes. They made it down. Every A-team had them. Steve got us smaller ones, by the way. He did. Remember that Leopold laser rangefinder you set over?
Yeah,
that thing sucked. It was terrible.
Anything that was...
Yeah.
You guys have to understand, when I started doing combat development, I actually started doing a little bit of combat development when I was running the sniper school, which is a school, but it's also working with the teams to give the teams better equipment and everything else. That led me to take the job as a combat developer, which I thought I was going to... It was my last 2 years in, and I had 18 and a half years. That's going to be my last job, and I'm going to retire. Then 9/11 happened, and Colonel Mulholland called me in and said, 4187 for your retirement. You want me to sign it or not sign it? I was like, he goes, Steve, we're going in Afghanistan. This is a special force. This is what you've been dreaming about. I said, actually, I haven't been dreaming about this shit. I've been busting my ass on this other stuff. So anyway, I had him tear it up. So when we started doing things like that, I would go out to the community, which mainly like the law enforcement community, were big into lasers. We were not in the whole special. We were not into lasers. I'm here to tell you. And Carl and I have had this discussion on our 16-hour drives because I learned to really appreciate visible lasers, which, you know, he's not like a visible laser fan. And we went over that on one I was recently showing him that it's a drop-on for the Glock, which is really, really cool. By dealing with the law enforcement, and I did a lot of work with JTF6, which is counter narcotics, and not saying you guys can't smoke it up, toke it up. I mean, whatever your laws are, go for it. I got to see what visible lasers can do, not necessarily always for combat, but for training.
Yeah.
The fact that you can see when the round breaks, when the laser breaks, and it was one of those things where, depending on your level of training and marksmanship, especially, you know, Carl's in a different category. He's at a different level, and sometimes he doesn't understand that. You know, at least he's the type of instructor that doesn't go out and teach a class and say, "Watch me do like I do." You know, he actually teaches the skill set. The lasers, when they're breaking on target, I could transition off a target, and I knew where those 2 rounds went, and I really learned to get into lasers, both visible, non-visible. The what we have, the at-pill, the it-pill, and then so
Pack 15,
that was
stuff like that.
That, especially when it came down to under night vision, that to me, especially if you wanted to indicate something, you know, because not everybody back then had a laser. We had pointers, but nothing was mounted on the actual weapon platform itself. Mm-hmm. So now with the invisible laser under nods, a guy could designate something for everybody else, and that really came in handy. So I'm a laser fan. Visible laser right now. I mean, I'm not in the fight right now. More in helping guys that are in the fight, but I really like visible lasers.
Me too. All right, I've had another one come in for Steve. They got the minigun to put up on Instagram tomorrow. I'll put it up tomorrow. Yeah. Steve forgets that live streams are forever.
Yeah.
All right. Luke Lapitia, I think I said that right. Threw down 50 bones. Hey, Carl, what are your thoughts on 6.5 Creedmoor? And then he also asks, primary arms micro prism, let them know it would be nice if it's adjustable by half MOA instead of 1. Yeah, and that's common. Let's start with that one first, right? What he's talking about is, let's see if I got one here. Basically what he's talking about is the 1X micro prism that, now, I want you to look at how low, I know I got one here. This is the same size though. Because it's mounted on, it's mounted on that gun right there. I can't touch guns. All right. I want you to look at how low those turrets are. Okay. They're that low because it only needs to have so many clicks in it to make it move, because they're 1 MOA clicks. You start getting in a half MOA clicks, and now you've got to make it. Got another one. You start getting taller clicks, and then you start getting into quarter MOAs, and then you got really tall turrets. I like low turrets because it's a 1X, because I want it clear field of view. I don't like anything obstruct. That's the best selling point of an EOTech is that big glass window that doesn't have any blind spots. All right. Now, that said, everybody bitches. Well, at 1 MOA, that's a whole inch at 100 meters. Oh, that's not good enough adjustment, because when I go down and look at my shot group, if it's a half inch to the left of the bullseye, I go 1 click right. Now I'm half inch to the other side, and then if I go 1 click back, you see what I'm saying? You can't do. If you're a half inch off, you can't make that adjustment. I got that. And I would agree with you, except it doesn't have any magnification. So you're talking about a red dot sight. Now, effective at what? Let's say you're all right, 300 meters, but for most of us, our point blank zero is 200 meters. At 200 meters, because that's where I actually shoot my guns. I don't shoot them just at 36 like the guys on Instagram, and they tell you it's dead on at 200. Try it. I had Randy do it the other day, and he wasn't even on the paper at 200. Okay, I'm dead on at 200. Now, my shot group at 200 meters, because I'm a 2 MOA shooter and I'm shooting a crappy 13.7 inch 5.56 gun, my shot group is this big. All right, with a 4-inch shot group, you understand, moving at 200 meters, one click is 2 inches. I can't even see 2 inches at 200 meters, guys. I can't. So as far as me moving the shot group on the target, needing half MOA, if it was 3x or a 5x scope or a 10x scope, of course I would want half MOA or 1/10 of a mil, something like that. But, and I hear you've got a common complaint. You're entitled to it. But in my opinion, think of it like that, and you might change your mind. I don't want you just regurgitating stuff you've heard other people say. Because Grantham told me the same thing. Mike said, well, it sucks because it's only one MOA corrections. And I'm like, you can't even see 2 inches at 200 meters. You can't see that to move the shot group.
What does SHTFWROL mean?
I have no idea. Point it. Where? What are you talking about?
It's already going up top. The guy was asking about M855 Mark 262, and he said, what would you use for a SHTF WROL scenario? Our boy Hemingway or something like that.
Our boy Hemingway.
Right. Yeah, but it
okay, I'm trying, Steve. I'm trying. Where was it?
Our boy Hemingway. Stephen Carl, between the Mark 262 M855 XM193, which round is that?
Shit hit the fan scenario.
What's WROL? I don't see a Z in there, so I know it's not.
World.
Not.
Whatever. Just shit hit the fan. Shit hit the fan. What would you use for shit hit the fan?
Mark 262, 193, and what was the other one?
In other words, green tip, 55 grain, or Black Hills, 77 grain is what he's asking.
Mark 262 is the 77 grain Sierra Master. Any one of those, I would not go with 855 or 193. I don't think. If you're civilian use, you're not restricted by the land of low warfare like the military is, I would go with something like the Hornady
tap.
Any of the stuff in the Hornady tap is
He's wanting good terminal performance. You hear that? All right. Now, see, I disagree, and that's why you bring Steve here, right? Because, and you guys know the deal. Home defense, I'm all about frangible ammo, and if you don't have access to frange, then your varmint rounds, like the Hornady tap ammo, that's designed to go into the human body and just blow up. It basically blows up like a softball. Now, home defense. I agree with Steve for home defense. Now, for shit hit the fan, end of the world as we know it, the green bandoliers in the back of the Suburban, because I'm getting ready to drive up to Chicago, they are filled with green tip, and I have a couple mags of the new M855A1.
the Golden Boys.
They're hard to find, Steve. No, that's not it. Anyways, the advantage of green tip, and it was not. They didn't put the steel penetrator in it for armor piercing. They didn't. They put it in the tip to make it lighter. They needed a longer bullet. This is substantially longer than your 55 grain. They needed a longer bullet back in the day to make the saws run, but they wanted to keep it as close to 55 grain as possible. So they put a little soft steel tip in this thing, and they took some of the lead out and they put in a lighter metal. The added benefit, though, is even though it does not perform as well in the human body, it's basically barrier blind. It'll go through car doors better than 55 grain. It'll go through windshields better than 55 grain. Now, end of the world, shit hit the fan. If I'm outside, I'm probably got walls and barriers and vehicles around me. Now, I mentioned the M855A1, the new Army one that's got the steel tip on it. Very overpressured. It's bad for the M4s. They're not going to get 30,000 rounds out of them anymore. I'm not shooting 30,000 rounds out of it anymore. I'm not. But one thing I'll tell you, and if you don't believe me, go watch our ballistic gel videos we shot. You would love this. I'll do it one day while you're overshooting on a Sunday. The new ammo, it's all copper except for the steel tip. Mm-hmm. So I would have thought, well, they're doing that for eco, right? They don't want lead in the berms. I'm like, that's bullshit, right? Wasting money. It's like 5 times as expensive. Total bullshit. So I was pissed off. Like Steve would be pissed off, because me and Steve, we get pissed about shit like that. And then I shot this stuff. It's barrier blind. It's just as accurate as a lot of our other ammo. But when it hits soft tissue, that's soft tissue right there.
Yeah, but you never hit me.
When you
they won't hit me though.
When it hit,
I'll matrix.
He do that matrix shit out of the way. I know you will, Steve. I know. When the M855A1 hits soft tissue, the brass, it's actually copper, is a little wider than the steel tip is. It would catch and slow down. The steel core and tip flies right through the block, flies right through. It's going to keep going barrier blind. But what that leaves inside of the body is now a copper hollow point. No jokes, got a big copper hollow point on it, not like open tip match. I'm talking like 38 special hollow point, and it just blows up. It destroys the ballistic gel blocks. It's a beautiful thing. It's not quite as good as frangible within the body, but understand it stays together going through car doors. It stays together going through windshields or windows. But then when it hits the soft tissue, it separates. So I wish we had it back in the day. I do. I'm sorry it's rough on people's guns, but I'm a big fan of M855A1. If you don't know where to get it, neither do I. The only way you can really find it now as a civilian is you got to go to gun shows and hope that, you know, some National Guard private is selling some that fell off of a truck somewhere or something. On occasion, it comes up for sale. It'll become more readily available to the civilian market now that we are a peacetime army. But it's good ammo, guys. It's good ammo. Again, just my opinion. Steve is entitled to his. I'm just disagreeing.
If this shit hit the fan, WROL, world, whatever,
End of the
zombie
world
apocalypse. I'm a fan of course, 6.8. I'm a big fan of 155 grain 308 Winchester 7.62, whatever you want to call it. Hornady Tap, Hornady AMAX. That whole line of ammo is just awesome. I would probably go 5.56. I mean, if that's what you're rocking, go for it. If you're running 6.5 Creedmoor, the ultimate ammo, because nobody's ever killed anybody in the world before they made 6.5 Creedmoor. If you listen to the 6.5 Creedmoor people, it's like, oh my gosh, 6.4 Creedmoor, and it kills everything.
Don't get me wrong. For new shooters, though, 6.5 Creedmoor shoots flatter and is more accurate at distance.
Yeah.
Now, we built the M21, the M24 around the NATO cartridge. But, and he's asking that. That's his question, Luke. You're asking 6.5. If you're new and you don't have stockpiles of 308, and you're specifically building a gun for precision rifle, Nah, I'm still going to tell you to go with a 300 Norma. But if you just want to shoot precision rifle series where they won't let you shoot a 300 Norma because it's $11 a round and you put holes right through all their steel targets. 6.5 Creedmoor shoots flatter. You don't have to be as accurate estimating range as you do with 308. 308's got other advantages. Number one, it's all over the planet. Number one. Number two, I can get, again, go to those gun shows and you can get armor-piercing 30-06 shells from World War II, pull the bullets and put them into 308, and now you have 308 armor-piercing rounds. But you can also do subsonic in 308 with a suppressor, and it's badass. You're hitting hard. 220 grain slug right below the breaking the sound barrier, and it hits like you just hit the guy in the face with a golf club. You know, the head's coming apart, guys. It is.
And that's one of the things that, you know, guys have to understand when they fell in love with the next second thing to the 6.5 Creedmoor, which is a 300 Blackout. Nobody's ever killed anybody in combat until the 300 Blackout came along. Is the 308, and now that I'm out and I don't have access,
Blackout.
Even though I have favorite calibers, I look at what can I get when SHTF, Sierra Hotel Tango Foxtrot, shit hits the fan. I'm a big 40 cal fan. I'm a big 45 ACP fan, but I run 9mm pistol on my pistol rounds because I know I'm going to be able to get 9mm. I shoot 5.56 reluctantly, but I know that I'm going to be able to get 5.56.
I used to say my shit hit the fan gun would be a 308, like my little 12.5 inch right there. I loved it. I love my 308, but the reality is shit hits the fan. The planet is carpeted with 5.56. It is. At least North America is. Hey, real quick, Steve, before you and me keep rambling, our lucky devil that won the giveaway for the Tactical Rifleman Combat Pistol Carbine slot, it is Matthew Dionne. D-I-O-N-N-E.
That's close.
All right, so Matthew, congratulations on winning. If Susan if you can put his name down in the chat room, congrats on winning. Here's what I need, Matthew. Take a picture of your avatar so I know it's actually you and not Ray Craddock trying to get prizes for free again. All right, but take a picture of your home screen on YouTube showing your avatar, and send it in an email to tacticalrifleman1@gmail.com. Again, tacticalrifleman1@gmail.com, and let me know, hey man, I'm the one that won the class, and that email will come to me. They will forward it to me. I don't get those emails, but they'll forward that email to me, and I will send you an email directly, and I'll let you pick out the dates. You're good to go. Congratulations.
What's his name again?
Matthew Dionne.
Matthew Dionne, congratulations. Where are you from? Hopefully you're not from D.C.
Yeah, hopefully not. We had a couple more come in. Steve, what is your take on my build? He has a Daniel Defense Delta 5 Pro with a Leopold 3.6x to 18 Magpul bipod. How can I improve for night tactical setup, as I do not have any night vision or thermals? Any recommendations? Get a bunch of railroad flares.
Okay. You guys have to realize that I've kind of been on a sabbatical for a while, especially since the pandemic hit.
First of all, let me say that Delta Pro by Daniel Defense is a good gun. It is. It's a good gun.
I'm not that familiar with the Delta Pro by Daniel Defense. I know
gun.
of Daniel Defense. I've been there.
They're good. It's a good gun.
They have quality products. So if you're rocking it and you like it, then it's all good.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with and I want to hate on the Magpul bipod because, my best friend, we had him here last Tuesday, Casey Belts, he invented the Atlas bipod, and his bipods are awesome. They are. But when I saw the Magpul one at the Magpul booth, when they came out with it at SHOT Show, I was like, well, let me check this out. And it's light, and it's got a bunch of features on it. And I was like, this is not for putting on an AR or for putting on a saw. It's not a bad bipod. It's really not. So, you're not going to be able to put it on a 240 machine gun or a Barrett. You're not. I wouldn't want to put it on a 300 Norma or a 338 Lapua. No. But for a 5.56 or a 308 gun, the Magpul bipod is a decent one. As far as getting ready for night shooting, until you have got night sights, you need to just focus on shooting during the day, all right? Master that, but understand the larger your objective lens, all right, the more light it's going to transmit. People say that scope gathers light better. They don't gather light, but they better quality lenses, better coating on lenses, they transmit light better, right? So if you've got a large objective lens, there's more light being exposed. It doesn't really give you a wider field of view, all right? You can actually completely cover the front with a piece of paper, put a little hole in the middle of it, and you'll still be able to see, okay? By taking that whole cap off, though, you'll see it'll be obviously a lot more lighter. Now, where this comes into play is like what's real popular now, these low power variable optics. This is a 1:8, all right? It's great. On 1 power, it's like running a red dot. I got that. Put it up to 8 power, and this thing is great. Even with night vision on, it's great. The problem, though, is look how small that objective lens is. Very small objective lens. So what you'll find is right at sunup and right at sundown, you're going to lose the ability to see your crosshairs and properly see the target to ID targets at sundown. Now, and that's a big difference in the cost of scopes that a lot of people don't realize. They think, well, the more expensive the scope, the tougher it is, the tougher it'll hold zero. Yes. All right, a $5,000 Smith & Bender will hold a zero better than a $200 Bushnell. Yes. Will it track better? Turrets and going through magnification without throwing off the zero? Yes, it will. The $5,000 scope will track and maintain zero through magnification better than the $200 Bushnell. Now, and I'm not bashing Bushnell, I'm not, because they've got some good scopes also. Their HDMR scope is like one of the best ones you can get for the price. All right, now, because if you can't afford a $5,000 scope, that Bushnell HDMR is a great choice. Right now, but the big thing is the quality of glass gathers light. Some people want to word it better than the same size objective lens on that Bushnell. Now, that said, the Bushnell that's got the big objective lens is going to gather and transmit more light than the $2,000 low power variable optic from Smith & Bender, simply because it's physics. It has a much larger objective lens. So I don't know your scope. You mentioned the Leopold, the one you have. You said a 3.6 whatever. I don't know what scope that is. I don't, and that's not how I word magnification. I would do like 3x-6x or whatever. I don't know what you're running, but one thing I will say is optics. When I deer hunt, I don't deer hunt. I've been known to deer hunt with thermals and Gen 3s. Okay, but when I daytime deer hunt, I always go out before sunup, and I'm running a expensive piece of glass, And having high quality glass allows our snipers to see the bad guys about a half hour before the bad guys can see us. So that's the only difference. So you work on that. Work on that. All right?
Fight Osiris.
Fightosaurus.
Right. Randy and Emery inspired me to start carrying more fixed blades. Good. Randy is the fixed blade master.
That guy loves his fixed blades, does he not?
I've seen Randy break up a conference by whipping out a fixed blade.
Real quick, we got another one here. The Donut King threw down 5 bones. Ukraine has more tanks now than before the war started. Pretty scrappy. Your thoughts? Ever steal a tank? I ever stole a tank. We stole a Hemet. Bunch of Humvees, bunch of SUVs. Wow.
I've killed some tanks. I've never stole a tank.
You flipped a tank?
Killed a tank.
Oh, killed a tank. One of my first missions as a Green Beret in Charlie Company, got the group. One of my first missions was to go to Kuwait to teach them how to use their new M1 Abrams tanks. So, lo and behold, I think I actually got a picture of me on top of that tank here somewhere. It's not here. It's in the man room. So I'm a Green Beret. I don't know anything about tanks. So they sent my A team to Fort Knox to go to the M1 Abrams Tank Commanders course. Yep. So we got to drive them, shoot them, command them, do maintenance, do everything. Basically, all we did was drink for 3 weeks. The instructors would come in, and we'd still be in like Hawaiian shirts and shit. We'd put our mechanics coveralls over top of, and we'd sleep on the tank until the instructors came in, and they're like, "Y'all a bunch of track lizards." I'm like, "What's a track lizard?" They're like, "You guys sleeping on top of your tanks. You're a bunch of track lizards." But so tanks are awesome. I gained a lot of respect for them.
Here's my thing from what I learned from the Tank Commanders course. Because before I came to Special Forces, I was the 82nd Airborne. And we always had, paratroopers, airborne, insertion, you're light, you're going to run into heavy armor, mechanized, and we drill, laws, you name it. When I got to Special Forces, we went to Fort Knox to the Tank Commanders course, and we were trained on the M1A1s to go overseas and train the guys. The first thing I learned about tanks was don't fuck with them.
No, they'll kill you.
From day one, when they started training us in the simulator and everything else, then we go out. I remember it was Fort Knox. It was like January, February.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Travis Hall. He is in the he's in the chat, guys. If you don't support Second Chance K9. Of all the charities out there, Second Chance K9 needs our help. It really does. It really does. So you guys check them out.
Second Chance K9. Travis Oos. So we're at Fort Knox, and the tanks are in their bays. And the guy was giving us blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, we're ready to go. I told him to crank the tank up, and let's back him out, and let's go. He goes, crank it up. He said, it's running. I said, the tank is on. He said, yeah. He said, walk to the back where the exhaust is. This big, giant exhaust.
Quiet, dude.
Muffler exhaust. I walk up to it and almost blew my hands away. I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is on? It's running? Yeah, he gets on the radio, goes, driver, back up. He goes, oh. No sound.
Yeah. No
Hemi engine, no diesel LML Duramax.
It's a gas turbine.
It's a turbine. And I was like, oh my gosh, all this stuff they told me in the 82nd Airborne, you're going to get on the ground and see the tank, get your law out. I said, no, don't hide.
So they moved the schoolhouse from Fort Knox down to Benning. But when I went through the course, you go in the classroom, there's a picture that was taken during Desert Storm. Because remember, back then, none of Saddam's guys wanted to fight. So the B-52s would drop leaflets all over like a tank division, literally like carpet bomb the division with paper leaflets that said, at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, we're going to bomb you with high explosive bombs. And of course, everybody thinks it's leaflets, it's propaganda, no big deal. Well, the next morning, the B-52s bombed the entire division. That basically it was like an arc light strike from Vietnam. They carpet bombed, they destroyed the whole division. The next day, they dropped leaflets on the next tank division and said, look, tomorrow morning, we're going to bomb you guys if you don't abandon your tanks, park them all side by side, abandon them, and walk towards Baghdad. No, I think they told them to walk towards the border.
Walk north.
Walk north.
Yeah.
And literally, you know what they did? They got the hell out of their tanks. They parked them side by side, and they left. So there was a lot of tanks that were parked like in a parking lot. And they were just everywhere. Wherever a tank unit was, this tank platoon would park their tanks and they'd leave.
But what nobody ever figured out or planned for was what's going to happen when these 4,000 guys come walking up. And that's what we literally
Not
had,
all of them walked north. Some of them walked south. No. So anyways, I went to Tank Commander's course, and one of the pictures, how I've got pictures here, they had a picture hanging up, and it was taken by a M1 Abrams tanker, and they had parked their tank, and it was a beautiful picture, the side of a T-72 tank, one of Saddam's top-of-the-line tanks, because he had T-55s, T-54s, T-62s, but he also had T-72s, Republican Guard, T-72 tanks, top of the line. And the sun is coming up behind the tanks. So all you can see is the silhouette of the tank because the sun's right behind it. There's a ray of light, sunshine, coming between two of the road wheels where the light is coming through the tank. Now, you look in the picture where the barrel is, right, with the barrel sticking out of the turret, it's actually two barrels. There are two tanks parked there. The sun is coming up behind. What this young sergeant was taking a picture of was his Sabo round. You want to go get my Sabo round? It's in the man room. It's up on the bookshelf. They had shot that 120 smoothbore cannon with a Sabo round, depleted uranium nail, at the side of this tank. Not only did it go through the tank, one side armor, it went through the other side of the tank. Not only did it go through both sides of one tank, it went through both sides of two tanks. So, in other words, the armor could have been, the armor on the side of a tank's like this thick. The armor could have been 4 times as thick. And that depleted uranium Sabo round going that fast still would have went through the side of it. Right? So, and you don't know what I'm talking about when I say Sabo round. Guys, I wish you... This
feel the weight.
I wish you could feel the weight in this thing. This is completely inert. It's inert. Relax, everybody. It's inert. Still got a live tracer in the back of it. All right. This round has never been fired. You'll notice the tip is just a little bit bent. And that's because the tank got blown up, and this actually landed on the road in front of my Humvee. But this thing with the depleted uranium nail on the inside of it, it's got a big Sabo, and it's shot out of a 120 millimeter cannon. I'm talking like 20-foot long artillery piece, and it is going so many times faster than the speed of sound. And so to mess with an M1 Abrams tank, guys, understand you're not in anything that can take 1 or 2 hits. I don't care what you're in. You can be in a battleship. It'll go through the side of it. It may not go all the way through the battleship, but it'll go through the side of a battleship. It will. So anyways, a little bit of tank trivia. I've never captured a tank. I've never killed a tank in combat. I've never done it. I got a bunch of buddies that did. If you've all seen the movie The Horse Soldiers, what was that movie called? 12 Strong. A lot of those guys in that movie 12 Strong were friends of friends of mine. The captain in the movie, he was played by Thor. The captain in the movie, literally, he does not look like, that's Captain Nooch, who later went on to be Major Nooch. Well, and don't get me wrong, total hero. Captain Nooch came back from Afghanistan, war hero, and they basically gave him his choice assignments. You can go to any unit you want, and he decided to come to my unit, A15. So I knew Captain Nooch. He came to my company as a senior captain, and he was a troop commander, super, super great guy. And now he works with the whole Horse Soldier Bourbon guys. A super great guy. Still lives in Kansas. Super great. Most humble dude you've ever met. And I'll tell you what, we need to have him on another live stream. I really do. He's a great, great guy indeed. Talking about Mark Nooch from Horse Soldiers.
Oh yeah, great guy.
Yeah, Mark is a great, great guy. Steve is
awesome
back.
Guy.
All right. Ever steal a tank? Nah, don't it, King. Sorry, I never stole the tank, brother.
Before we get on another subject,
all right,
it's getting about my time because I got to make that drive. So
okay. Yeah, I can't go late tonight either. I'm leaving early in the morning, going to Chicago. What you got, Steve? What you got? He's got himself a bag here. What you got?
Let me get past this. No, that's not for you. Randy's got me into fixed blades also, so I'm a big fixed blade fan.
Nice. Let me see, man.
Trying to work that one out. This is my other little fixed blade. I got these because I wanted to ask Carl's opinion. I'm trying to figure out how to get it on to my nothing fancy. This is a cold steel fin bearer, and this is one a guy made. I really like Japanese style, Tanto style blades.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that they don't have anything up top for my thumb.
Yeah.
I like that where I can rest my thumb on something. Have a guard down here, but that's what I just had these because I want to talk to you about it anyway.
Okay.
But
what you got, Steve? Nothing good can come out of this when Steve comes bearing gifts.
The Big Kahuna Burger! The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides.
I got that poster, dude. It's right there.
I gave you that poster.
I know. I haven't hung it up yet. I was waiting to hang it up in the what do you call it? In the
by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. I'll let you open it.
Stevie, you're so wrong, dude. You got me the wig. You got me the John Travolta wig. Oh, that's funny. Complete with hairnet. The Pulp Fiction wig.
There we go.
With my ponytail on the back.
Let me fit you up here. Got your ponytail on the back.
All right, and that's just wrong, dude. You got the Samuel.
All right.
Say what again?
What? The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the tyranny.
Got my ponytail.
Blessed is he who, in the path of righteousness and goodwill, shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and fierce anger those who attempt. You got to put on a Big Kahuna shirt, man.
All right, put on my Big Kahuna shirt.
Those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother.
All right, I'm sorry, man.
You know what they said in the movie, right? All right, get in character. We're gonna get in character. We're gonna go beat up some boys, shoot them up.
Hold on, Big Kahuna Burger. All right,
there we go. There we go.
My wig's falling off, dude. Oh, Steve.
The path of the righteous man.
I forget all my lines. I do. I forget all my lines. Mr. Wolf, it's been a pleasure.
Oh, the wolf.
The wolf.
The wolf is the man. The wolf is the man.
And this is why we don't invite Steve to come on live streams other than on Tuesdays. Steve, I'm glad you stopped by tonight. I appreciate this. I do. I'm going to have to save this for the next time we do a live stream down in Nashville. I think we should do it in character. What do you think?
Yeah,
we'll rehearse it ahead of time.
Yeah, we got to do it in character. We got to do it in character. We still support the Pulp Fiction guys.
Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese. Know what they call it in Europe?
Royale with
Look
cheese.
at the big brain on Brad. But
May I have a drink of your tasty beverage?
Wash that down.
Oh, Steve. Right now, my wife is up there losing her mind saying, what are they doing down there? All right, so Susan's gone, which means I'm not getting any more questions from you guys. That's all good. Of course, Ray Craddock says, why are you always picking on me? He wants me to say hi to Steve. Ray is a great buddy of mine from Hawaii. He's awesome.
Okay.
We need to give away one of those T-shirts. Susan's already trying to give away the T-shirt.
What T-shirt?
I'm still here. This one, she's wanting to give away a big kahuna.
Oh.
Susan, this is... No. I got guys sending
Show me your ponytail.
Ponytail.
Woohoo! Got the ponytail going.
I got to get the whole dance thing going. Moves like Jagger. Shit. All right. That's some kind of sexy right there. Okay. All right. So we are. All right.
All you guys out there, question. Love you. God bless.
Did Steve ever get to use war pigs? Use the war pigs.
The fact that I'm going to ask
what is a war pig? Yeah, that would be a no. All right.
What's a war pig?
Been a pleasure, dude. Been a pleasure. Always good, Steve.
Call hug.
Yeah, I'm not a hugger, but that's
what's a war pig?
There are different things that have been called war pigs over the days. One of them was my unit stole a Hemet, and we took the box on the back, put swing arms. Yeah. That was war pig to my unit. I don't know what he's calling a war pig.
I haven't ever used one. I just support the builds.
Steve supported the riffraff that we did, and I was not involved in that. No, actually, I didn't. No. Frank Nash was Sergeant Major then, not me.
Yeah, but
I'm not throwing Frank under the bus.
Pigs with you guys, then you had Charlie 1-5.
Oh yeah, we had. There's all kinds of great stuff.
What was Ray's name? Ray. Ray J. Johnson.
Yep.
Derek
C.
Darren.
The Pulp Fiction costumes were worth everything. Love you, brothers. All right. Next one, Holly Movie Star. Steve, I have a question. The Mark 12 Mod Holland, was it 16-inch mid-length or rifle-length gas system?
Mid-length.
Mid-length.
Yeah. The whole genesis about the Mark 12, and it wasn't, I don't know why people just say, Steve Holland, Mod 8s. I did them all. But we started with the 18, myself and Chris Murray, and the whole genesis of that system was built around a medium-length gas tube because we focused on dwell time in front of the gas port to improve the cycling rate, reduce the heat, get everything back to the timing of the system that Eugene Stoner originally designed. That's why when people were cutting the barrels off in front of the gas port short, you change that dwell time.
Yeah.
And so we were getting back to that. So to run a 16.5-inch barrel, we went to the medium length gas tube, and I worked with Mark. What was Mark's name? The guy that owned Armalite. Mark.
Oh,
God,
shit.
Great guy.
I know who you're talking about, too.
Yeah, and you know, he was really like a mentor to me.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
helped me understand all that.
I
You got to keep in mind the Mark 12, the 16.5-inch barrel, and the original 18.5-inch barrel were all transitioning to the 6.8, and that was part of the program when General Brown, who was the SOCOM commander, I was briefing him once down in MacDill, and we had what we call the M4 PMOD, which is platform modification. And he said, wait a minute, you got money for this and that, all this stuff going on in M4. And I basically told him, I said, sir, the best way to do this, because Colt was fighting us on the upper for the Mark 12, we couldn't put it on the Colt lower. I said, why don't we just go to a new gun? Why don't we just have a new gun system? And he literally looked at everybody out there and said, let's do that. This is a 4-star general. That was the genesis and the birth of the SCAR. I wrote the requirement for what is the SCAR rifle. Not with the intent that it would turn out with what the FN gave. But a quick short story on the SCAR. When we wrote
y'all got him started on the SCAR
myself and Captain Jack Dills and Major John Ryan, who is now a General Ryan. The SCAR was designed around the 6.8. When we first briefed, when FN won the contract, the first briefing, I can't remember this Marine Corps major's name, but he showed up at the weapons meeting down in Clearwater with a FN SCAR Mark 16 and 6.8. There was never to be a Mark 17. The USASOC gave up the ownership because they were lazy asses up there in the G8. They gave it to Warcom, which is the Navy SEALs. They were running around with their EBR M14 7.62 rifle that weighed 24 pounds. And once they got control of the SCAR program, they started the 7.62 Mark 17 SCAR program. Now, going way back, what got me started on the 6.8 as better caliber, you have to go back to Vietnam, the M14, which was the weapons program people's bastardization of the M1 Garand. When NATO competed for the 7.62 from 30-06 to 7.62, and they took the Garand and put a magazine on it like the BM59 in Italy, the best rifle selected was the FN FAL. And we talked about that out at Travis's place.
We did.
The FN FAL paratroop model, the folded stock, would have been the universal NATO rifle back in the 1960s. But our guys wanted to build their own version of the M1 Garand, BM59. So then we ended up with Stoner's M16 in Vietnam. That FN FAL paratroop version of that rifle, it would have been accepted by the U.S. for the NATO rifle. That rifle would still be with us to this day because that is a kick-ass rifle.
It would have quad rails on
it would have the rails and everything else.
And
But we would have never gone through this whole thing. And you ask anybody out there who likes the M1A1 version of the M14, you don't see a lot of people running around.
No.
It was a bastard rifle. Some guy sitting around, I got an idea. Instead of going to industry and saying, everybody in Europe has chose the FN rifle, let's go with that. But everybody here was like, we want to make our own. That would have been a kick-ass rifle. So M16, Mark 12, 6.8, none of that would have happened because we would have had a badass battle rifle from the beginning. And that's my opinion. I'm sticking with it.
It's
coming. The path of the righteous man is what? It's beset on all sides.
All right, Steve. Masalama, ya wallet. I'll see you later. Travel safe.
Alibatic feek.
All right, gents. I'm back. I hope you like my Big Kahuna shirt, but it's too hot in my house. So that puppy's got to go.
By the way, just so you guys know, when you see me sitting here and I'm doing like this right here, that's because Carl got this big-ass light right here. And I'm trying to shield myself so I can read what you guys are saying. Cool stuff. Be safe, guys. God bless.
Oh, it is hot as hell in here. All right. I'm back. All right, guys. We're going to wrap this up. We are already over 2 hours. We are well over 2 hours. So if you guys got a couple questions, that's cool. But I got a couple things that I want to talk about real quick. All right. I mentioned this Friday's video is Tracking 101. You guys watch our videos, and a lot of the times they are interesting, like the MACV SOG one, or it's a shooting drill you want to do, or it's fun to watch. How many of you guys actually know how to track? Most of you don't. Now, here's the cool part is tracking is literally you can get a quick class in it. And then how you learn how to do it is by getting outside and practicing. Literally all you need is a stick and 2 rubber bands. I like cleaning rods with O-rings on them, 2 O-rings. That's it. You need, or you can use hair ties. You can literally use rubber bands. But you need 2 ways of sliding markers up and down on your stick, and you're going to make a tracking stick. That's what this Friday's video is. Literally, this is one of those videos. Sue is so good at presenting the material that by the end of the video, you're literally going to be able to go out to some dirt road and follow the path across it. And then you'll see, you can just get, and we do this at the Patreon courses. We've done it the last 2 years. I've brought Sue out 2 years in a row, and literally he's got guys following sign all the way up through the woods on something. There's no way I'd be able to do it because I don't have that kind of patience, but they work together as a team, and Sue does a great job teaching it. So this is one of those videos that, again, nobody's going to watch it because it's boring, but this is one of those gems that literally this is going to be a great video this Friday. So anyway, Sue LaRue, it's called Tracking 101, and you guys you're in for a great time indeed. All right. I had a question came in. It wasn't a question, it's a note, and I'm not going to read the whole note. But I want to say thanks to Tom Nagel. But Tom had he sent a care package. He said, I was wondering if you were ever, when you were active duty, did you ever hear of an Army Regulation 5-4? When I was in the Air Force, and he said that was 1975 to 79, I was told that regulation many times. It is, I have 5 stripes, you have 4. Stay shooting straight, respectfully, Tom Nagel. Yeah, I never had anybody say that in the Army, so it must be an Air Force thing. But that's kind of cool. It's a funny joke, you know. I've got 5 stripes, you've only got 4 stripes. ARs, you know. That's funny, Tom. It's funny. You got me. I was like, ha! I was like, ha! That was funny. You know, I don't laugh very often. I sit in my hill. I get mad at the stuff on TV. My dogs sneak into the house when they're not supposed to. Got a leak. I just, you know, it is what it is. So anyways, Tom, thanks for cheering me up with that little ha! It was great. Yeah. The only other things I want to talk about, guys, is don't even bother signing up for the Texas class. We are packed to the gills, literally packed. I have got, these will be our largest classes ever in Texas. I have got, I'm there basically 2 weeks, and I'm not going to have any voice left. It's going to be awesome. It is going to be awesome. So, looking forward to it. No, I'm not bringing Steve Holland to Texas. I'm not. I've got great staff there. It's going to be a great class. That said, if you are interested in training, literally right after that, I'm actually going to jump in my Jeep and go do the Daniel Boone Trail and decompress for a little bit. I need to get away from human beings. Go camping, sit around the fire, maybe roll my Jeep a couple times, you know, just get out in the woods, have fun. I'm only going for 3 days, guys. It's a day drive there, day drive back. Let me breathe for 24 hours. But when I get back from there, we have got classes in May. pistol carbine, and combat pistol 101. Combat pistol carbine is, I mean, I might be able to squeeze you in, but it is booked solid. I still have a few slots left for combat pistol 101. Then we have tactical precision rifle, last day of May, first day of June, back down in Texas again. I do not have very many people signed up for that. I've got enough people signed up to do the course. I do. But with as many instructors as I'm planning on bringing, in other words, I'm saying if you're interested in doing a precision rifle class and you want the tactical taste of it, we get into shooting on the assault countdown and all that stuff, night shoot. If you want to get into all of that, you can sign up at tacticalrifleman.com. There's still plenty of slots left. That is last day of May, first day of June. Then throughout the summer, again, I've got more classes. But yeah, so anyways, I've got slots that are out there. If you're interested in signing up, sign up for them quick, because when I mention it here on the live stream, the classes go whoop and fill up on me. So I'll mention it now. I'm mentioning it now. The other thing, because we just had our Patreon Zoom live stream Sunday night. I think it was, Sunday night. And which is cool, because if you're one of my patrons and you do the Patreon Zoom, it's a Zoom live stream, so you can see it. You can see Jerry J. You can see Susan. You can see all the rest of the patrons, Sherry Champagne, and everybody. And we have a great time. We go around the home. But anyways, the big thing was we were talking about the upcoming Patreon course we do once a year. That's going to be November this year. So, yeah, lots of great details coming out about that. I want to say congrats again to our winner. Guys, Joe the Knife Guy literally was calling me right before the live stream saying, hey, Carl, give away another knife. Give away another knife. I didn't. I gave away knives two live streams in a row. I have got optics to give away. I've got battle belts to give away. I had a class to give away. So anyways, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight, because it's cool, man. It is an opportunity for me to get out to you guys what's new in life here. It allows me to tell you about last minute class slots and things like that, but it's also opportunity for you guys to ask me questions, right? Because I know religiously I put out a new video every Friday. I have not missed that. I've not missed a single Friday since we started this YouTube channel. We've been going for years now. So when you go to our video archive, and if you haven't watched some of our first year's videos, those first, I think we did, because we started off with like 5 the first day. But like those first 60 videos are some of my favorite topics. And they're all shorter videos. We didn't realize longer videos pay better. But anyways, go check them out. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me here. And yes, coming and visiting. We do these live streams almost every Tuesday. I try to do them every Tuesday. I think I have missed a couple Tuesdays. I caught COVID, guys, so I missed one Tuesday there. Missed 1 or 2 here or there because of classes. I'm going to try to not miss them for upcoming classes that I have. I'm going to try to be done in class, sunburned, covered in dust, race back to the hotel, fire up my laptop, and still be able to do the live streams with you. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Again, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor this week right here, Arms List. Arms List. You can go to armslist.com, guys. It's your Arms List online firearms marketplace. Literally, lots of great deals. And the other part that I thought was cool, was you pay. It's like everything else, guys. It's like Sam's Club. You pay your little membership fee, but once you're in, you've got access to everything. You really do. And I was going through their website, and they've got EOTechs in stock. They've got all this ballistic nylon stuff. It's not just guns. So literally, and I mean, and if you're looking for a particular gun, they got 1,300 FFLs. It's not just like Costco where you're only buying from Costco. It's not just Big Daddy Unlimited where you're only buying from Big Daddy Unlimited. Armslist.com, you've got access to 1,300 FFLs, and you can sell your own stuff there too. Kind of cool. All right, no sales fees, no nothing like that, besides that flat fee. So anyways, check them out. Click on the link. Go there and let them know. Send them an email saying that, hey, you heard about them on Livestream, and be cool. All right, that's all I got for y'all. It's been awesome. At least it's been awesome for me. I hope it's been awesome for you guys. And let's see what else I got going on here. Gonna do that. All right, I'm looking for last minute questions. I don't have any last minute questions. No, I don't. So, going once, going twice. I want to say thank you again to my moderators, Susan and Donut. They did great. And I want to thank all you guys out there for hanging out with us. And yeah, it's been awesome. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Y'all take care and shoot straight.
Incoming right there. Incoming right there. Incoming right there. Incoming right there.